Hello, and welcome to this video tutorial on how to use the Manifest Workbook. This workbook has been built to roll up and provide all the personal manifest information the PWCC and receiving agencies require on staff when they are being deployed away from the fire center or office. When filling out the Manifest Workbook, staff should refer to the Wildfire Resource Book, guidance in regards to allowable crew, personal weights for deployments. Should you use this Manifest Workbook? For all deployments. When staff are deployed from their home fire center or office to support another fire center or agency within BC. When staff are deployed outside of BC but within Canada. When staff are deployed outside of Canada. Manifest Workbook is to be used for all wildfire management staff and team staff deployed in the situations outlined above. Fire center that staff are being deployed from is responsible to complete the workbook and to email it to the PWCC Logistics section at hprlogs@victoria1.gov.bc.ca. The Manifest Workbook is made up of multiple sheets in an Excel workbook. Each tab or worksheet is either an interactive document staff data enter into, a reference document on how to fill out the workbook, a reference document outlining codes to use in the workbook, a document that will be auto-filled when information is provided in the Data Entry Screen tab. Tabs in the workbook are color-coded and their purpose is outlined in the Instructions tab. Before we head to the Data Entry screen, it is important to make note of the Special Considerations tab. Tab is here and should be used as a tool for the user to refer to. It outlines key situations that are encountered when deploying staff outside of BC and how we deal with them. Vehicle Information tab is also available to refer to. Guidance on vehicle use when being deployed. It also provides guidance on the types of vehicles that can be taken out of province and what is required in the way of inventory when traveling out of Canada. Instead of reading you the remaining instructions, I will simply show you when I complete an example entry of a single resource into the Data Entry screen. It is very important for you to read all of the instructions before entering your data. I'm going to show you how to fill out the Data Entry Screen tab of the Manifest Workbook. The information entered in this screen auto-populates sheets in the rest of the workbook. The first thing to notice is the small color chart in the top left part of the sheet. This shows that the columns with blue above them are needed for all types of deployments. Purple colored columns are used for out-of-country deployments. Green colored columns are used for all out-of-province deployments. For example, if you are data entering a crew from the Kamloops Fire Center heading to Australia, you must data enter in all of the columns. If you are taking the information from an FS 478 manifest form, which is shown here, be sure to copy the information accurately. I find the easiest way to work through the Data Entry screen is to work from left to right. Under Fire Center, you have a drop-down list. Simply choose the Fire Center. In this case, we'll say our person is from Kamloops. Under Fire Center Phone, you notice that it auto-populates for you. Depending on which Fire Center or HQ or PWCC, the phone number will auto-populate for you. Less chance of error. Home base location. In this case, here on our FS 478, our individual is from Merritt. So when you're in your Manifest Workbook, simply write cell or sat phone. This information is also found on the FS 478. So we just put that person's information in here. Date left home base. And since this person is not part of a crew, you can just put NA. Crew position or type. So the individual from Kamloops is going to be a Div Soup on his deployment, and that is fire management staff. Recovery project fire standby number is also found on the FS 478. So this number comes from the Provincial Wildfire Coordination Center. And looks something like that. The individual's call sign. And their mnemonic. So the mnemonic, there's also a tab at the end of the which lists all of them there with the full title. So for Division Supervisor, I'm just going to scroll down here, Div Soup, right here. Okay, so the individual's name, first name, make sure they are legal names as shown on the passport. Middle initial. Sex, if there's a drop down. Seat weight. And the individual's pack weight. Next column is date resource hits 19 days deployed. So I'm just going to scroll over here, wait for the to pop up. Okay, this information auto-populates based on what you've entered in the date left home base. Okay, so it's just adding the 19 days, so you don't have to put anything here. Just make sure that your first one is accurate. WMB resource request number, this is also found on the resource request, which looks something like this, the resource request number in the top right corner. Just take that information, date of birth of the individual, the CIFC or Washington resource request number, also found on the resource request, and the CIFC or national ID, also on the resource request that comes from the Provincial Wildfire Coordination Center. Type of transportation, how they're getting to their destination, and if they are flying, enter a boarding location here, which you also have a drop-down list to choose from. This will auto-populate. Enter the passport information. And the passport expiry. Okay. Now that we have this information all filled in, just scroll back over to the left. Scroll down. This is the personnel come section and the miscellaneous cargo section. You're looking at the personnel come with section. This is also all on the FS 478. So I'll bring this up again for you. If you scroll down on the manifest, it's here, personnel equipped with. And then also for miscellaneous cargo section, your information is here. So you'll be taking this information and putting it into the manifest workbook. So you simply choose yes or no on what the individual is deciding to bring with them. Okay, you kind of get the idea. And then over in miscellaneous cargo section, options to choose from here in your drop-down list. Just add that information in here. Very important to make sure you put has completed the workbook. The Provincial Wildfire Coordination Center has any questions, they may contact you and just get some clarification around that. So I recommend that once you've finished data entering all of your information, to have a look through the entire document, save it first, and have a look through the tabs to see if the information has auto-populated onto them correctly. Let's move on to the vehicle ident form. So if you just scroll down on the bottom here, it's in purple. It is used to track vehicles used during deployments in province and out of province. Be sure to fill all of this out accurately so that the appropriate information is auto-filled to the Northwest Compact Vehicle Manifest. Hover your mouse over the red triangles in each header for further clarification on what is required. So you're going to enter in what the individual is bringing with them. Oops. This person is not part of crew, so we're just going to leave that. He's going to be taking a government vehicle with him. Say it's a half-ton. Enter the license plate, where this person is coming from, and the starting kilometers. Okay. Of course, the start date, enter that as well. Okay, so once you've finished filling out the vehicle ident form, if you notice the mnemonics tab at the back of the it is a reference sheet that contains the abbreviations for the positions staff could be deployed under. These codes are used to be Okay, so this is the mnemonics tab, and this is the information that pops up, and these codes are to be used when deploying in province and out of province. So also, if you go to the Standard Country Codes tab, just shows another reference sheet for the administrator of the workbook to use when staff are deployed outside of Canada. So even further is a drop-down tab, and this is also just used for the administrator of the workbook, and it's just a sheet listing all of the options available for drop-down in the workbook. Okay, so I think that is about it. If I can teach you anything, please just remember to save the workbook throughout your data entry process. If you are entering a unit crew or a large number of people, you do not want to lose 10 lines of information. And name it accordingly. Example, Rainmaker's Unit Crew Manifest for June 7th. So thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. Remember to read the instructions tab before you start, and print them out if you would like to refer to them for the first few times you data enter. And remember to take your time when entering the data into the spreadsheet. Thank you.